confidence. It isn't about flaunting or shouting louder than everyone else. It's the gentle but undeniable energy that holds you steady, even when storms arise. In a world buzzing with advice on how to be bolder or more appealing, let us begin with something real. The understanding that you already carry the seed of unshakable confidence within you. Sometimes it's buried under doubt or hidden by old fears, but it is there, waiting to bloom. Right now, online communities are filled with confidence challenges, group programs, and motivational talks urging us to stand tall. These are wonderful signs that people everywhere are recognizing an important truth. When we learn to trust ourselves, the entire world brightens. You might have seen friends or influencers sharing daily affirmations, snapshots of them courageously pursuing new goals, or even simple acts like wearing an outfit they once felt too shy to try. All of these glimpses serve as reminders that confidence is not a destination, it's an ongoing journey. And you, dear one, are absolutely on the right path. True confidence is quiet, not necessarily in volume, but in spirit. It doesn't clamor for approval or wait for others to offer permission. It simply exists in harmony with who you are. Imagine yourself feeling wholly content in your own presence, no apologies or hesitation necessary. That's the place we want to reach. Through this gentle exploration, we'll tap into the radiant source within, giving ourselves permission to believe in our worth at every stage of life. By the end of our time together, you'll have fresh ways to nurture the glowing ember of self-belief resting deep inside. Perhaps you'll discover a new technique for releasing years of self-doubt, or learn how to craft an affirmation that speaks directly to your heart. Along the way, remember that each step toward confidence sets off a ripple effect. When you allow your inner light to shine, others feel safe to embrace their own. So, let us embark on this journey now, lovingly yet boldly. From the foundation of self-worth to the power of affirmations, from releasing emotional baggage to embracing meaningful mirror work, we'll explore practices that can ground your courage. We'll also talk about forgiveness, how letting go of old resentments paves the way for peaceful self-assurance. And together, we'll learn to transform fear into faith, leaning on gentle self-talk and gratitude for support. Are you ready to spark that deep sense of confidence? Let's move forward with an open heart. You deserve every moment of peace and power that stems from being proud of who you are. And in that pride, you'll find your highest gift, the ability to shine as a guiding light for someone else who desperately needs to see what's possible. Before you can stand confidently in front of any challenge or opportunity, you need a strong base, a place within that never questions your right to be here. True self-worth transcends any specific skill, achievement, or external validation. It's an inner knowing that you are enough simply because you exist. Far too often, we link our sense of worth to fleeting accomplishments or external opinions. And while praise or success can feel wonderful, it only provides a short-lived boost. When hardship strikes, it's that inner reservoir of self-respect that keeps you going. Consider the notion that your worth doesn't require you to be perfect. This might feel radical in a world obsessed with measuring and comparing, but unconditional self-respect releases you from the trap of always needing to prove your value. Imagine you're standing in a garden watching a rose bloom. You don't demand the rose prove its beauty, it simply is. In the same way, You can honor your existence without endless justification. Recent discussions on unconditional acceptance align with this idea. Across social media, there's a shift toward recognizing that being gentle with ourselves is not laziness or self-indulgence. It's the bedrock of healthy transformation. By respecting who you are at your core, you give yourself permission to explore new paths without the constant fear of failing. This transforms life from a minefield of potential mistakes into a playground of learning experiences. Affirming your sacred worth is often the missing piece when you feel low or insecure. If you keep telling yourself that your value depends on flawless performance, you can't help but live in anxiety. But when you choose to believe you're deserving of kindness, success, and happiness simply by virtue of being alive, you unlock an incredible reservoir of bravery. Obstacles still appear, but they don't define you. Their presence becomes an invitation to grow rather than a condemnation of your abilities. Let it sink in that your worth is not something you achieve, but something you allow yourself to claim. Yes, there may be layers of doubt or shame to peel away. Yes, you might have experienced times when others made you feel unimportant or small. Acknowledge those stories, then gently remind yourself that you aren't obligated to carry them forever. Within you lies a spark that is untouched by external judgments. Knowing this, let's prepare for the next step, using affirmations to anchor that sense of worth deep into your daily thoughts. Because once you recognize your inherent value, the only thing left to do is nurture and protect it. Everything else, skill building, achieving goals, forging loving relationships, unfolds much more smoothly when rooted in the soil of unwavering self-respect. And that, dear one, is the foundation upon which you can confidently build the life you envision. Having laid the groundwork of unwavering self-worth, let's explore affirmations, the luminous phrases that have the power to rewire your inner dialogue. Affirmations are not mere words, they're carriers of new possibilities. Each time you voice a supportive statement, you're choosing to cancel out a thread of doubt and replace it with hope. And in this precise moment, people all over the globe are harnessing micro-affirmations to shift the negative chatter in their minds. Perhaps you've seen someone on social media repeating mantras like, "I deserve good things," or "I am strong and capable." These may seem simple, but do not underestimate their profound impact. The key is wholehearted repetition. Our minds absorb messages through consistency and emotional resonance. We can liken it to tuning a radio. You might hear static at first, but keep adjusting the dial, and eventually, the station comes through loud and clear. Affirmations work the same way. At first, saying, "I am worthy of love," might feel alien, especially if you've believed otherwise for so long. But persist. Over time, the static fades, and the new message of self-love becomes the dominant frequency of your thoughts. Let us try something fresh right now. Take a slow breath. Then say inwardly or aloud, "I release all doubts and embrace the truth of my brilliance." Notice what feelings arise, perhaps resistance or tingling excitement. Whatever it is, acknowledge it without judgment. You're training your mind to adapt to a more expansive view of yourself. And that shift, though subtle at first, paves the way for remarkable changes in your confidence. Remember, affirmations work best when they feel personal to you. If a phrase doesn't resonate, tweak the wording. Instead of "I am supremely powerful," You could say, I am growing stronger each day. The beauty of this practice is that you can shape the language to speak directly to your heart. And if you're curious about popular self-help trends, you'll find an array of new affirmations circulating. Some people like to keep them short, like I can, I believe, or I shine. Others prefer elaborate statements that detail specific dreams or goals. But here's a vital piece. For affirmations to truly blossom, the space they grow in must be free of heavy emotional burdens. Negative emotions can act like weeds, crowding out these seeds of positivity. And that leads us to the next crucial step, releasing the emotional baggage that weighs us down. Through the process of letting go, you create fertile ground where affirmations can take deep root. So, dear one, commit to your chosen affirmations with sincerity. Let them be your friendly reminders that you are indeed extraordinary. Write them on sticky notes, set them as alarms on your phone, or whisper them in the mirror. We will soon address how to clear old pain so these bright new convictions can shine unimpeded. Because when our hearts are uncluttered, each life-affirming statement resonates with even greater power, fueling the radiance that lies within. Sometimes the greatest barrier to confidence isn't a lack of skill or opportunity, but the emotional heaviness we've accumulated over time. Think of it as carrying around a backpack filled with old grudges, guilt, regrets, or sorrow. Every step becomes more exhausting because you're lugging around unresolved experiences. Releasing that weight can feel like taking a deep, clarifying breath after being underwater for too long. You might have noticed conversations online about emotional spring cleaning. It's a phrase catching on recently, reflecting the idea that just as we tidy our living spaces, our inner world needs equal attention. Emotions are powerful guides, not enemies. Yet when we let them fester without addressing them, they morph into barriers that cloud our capacity to feel worthy or confident. A single comment from years ago, perhaps someone questioned your intelligence or your appearance, can lodge in your mind, subtly telling you not to believe in yourself. One approach is journaling. Setting aside a quiet moment to write down your feelings, fears, or resentments can be transformative. By spilling the contents of your heart onto paper, you transform intangible burdens into something visible and manageable. Another practice is breath work, taking slow, intentional inhales and exhales while mentally releasing tension. Pair each exhale with a gentle affirmation such as, I let go of what no longer serves me. Notice how your body reacts. Often tension in the shoulders or chest will gradually ease as you breathe out those pent-up emotions. Remember, the goal isn't to label any feeling as bad or good. We're merely giving ourselves permission to move through them rather than remain stuck. When we cling to anger, fear, or disappointment, it's usually because part of us believes we deserve that suffering or that releasing it is somehow a betrayal of our experiences. But letting go doesn't mean forgetting or invalidating what happened. It means choosing not to let past pain define our current or future self. If at times you find yourself overwhelmed, turn to affirmations that encourage emotional release. You might say, I set my past free and expand into a brighter tomorrow. Or, I trust in my resilience to heal. These affirmations remind you that moving forward is not only possible but natural. In fact, every inhale is a new beginning, and every exhale is an opportunity to shed what weighs you down. Once you begin clearing these emotional blockages, watch how your confidence grows. Much like clearing debris from a river so it can flow freely, you'll find that with less emotional baggage, your affirmations and self-care efforts amplify in power. Speaking kindly to yourself becomes easier. Soon we'll explore a face-to-face method of nurturing confidence, mirror work. But first, let's let this process sink in. It's a journey of daily, gentle cleansing, an ongoing commitment to your well-being. Lighten the load, dear one, so you can stand in your own radiance without the shadows of yesterday dragging you down. Imagine standing in front of a mirror and truly looking at yourself, not just to check your hair or outfit, but to connect with the soul behind the reflection. This is where mirror work begins. And although it can feel unsettling at first, it's one of the most direct routes to building genuine self-confidence. When you dare to gaze into your own eyes, you open a gateway to deeper self-awareness, healing, and love. Start simply. Reserve a few quiet minutes in your day. Stand or sit in front of a mirror at a comfortable distance. Take a calming breath, then let your eyes meet your reflection. At first, you might feel waves of discomfort. Old criticisms might leap into your mind. I look tired, or I'm not enough. Gently acknowledge these thoughts, but don't let them take over. Instead, begin to speak kind words to yourself. Even a single phrase such as, I respect who I am becoming, can shift the energy in the room. The power of mirror work lies in its immediacy. Words land differently when you can see yourself receiving them. This practice also encourages you to confront hidden patterns. If you feel emotional, that's perfectly normal. Tears, laughter, relief. It's all part of the unfiltered encounter with your own essence. Keep your language supportive. I forgive myself for past mistakes. Or, I choose today to embrace my worthiness. Allow these statements to resonate as you maintain gentle eye contact. If it feels strange, remember that learning anything new can be awkward at the start. A helpful tip is to pair mirror work with affirmations we discussed earlier. Write them down on sticky notes and place them around the mirror. Then, as you speak each phrase, look into your reflection. You're reinforcing the message on multiple levels, visually, verbally, and emotionally. Over time, this direct form of self-communication can mend the disconnect between what you intellectually know about your worth and how you actually feel about it. Some people worry that mirror work might be too intense, especially if they've been carrying deep-rooted shame or trauma. If that resonates with you, proceed slowly. Begin with brief sessions, maybe only a minute or two, and gradually increase the duration. Offer yourself compassion, reminding yourself that courage doesn't require grand gestures. It's the small, consistent steps that build lasting change. This practice forms a sturdy bridge between releasing emotional baggage and fully owning your confidence. You've done inner clearing, you've started affirmations, and now you're literally facing yourself, integrating all that positivity in real time. In the next step, we'll explore how forgiveness acts like a refreshing breeze, clearing the air of lingering guilt or resentment that might overshadow your newfound self-acceptance. If mirror work stirs up old grievances, don't worry. That's precisely the signal that it's time to set your heart free. You deserve the relief that follows genuine forgiveness. Wherever resentment lingers, true confidence struggles to fully bloom. Holding on to grudges against ourselves or others can quietly drain our strength. Forgiveness is often misunderstood as a favor to the one who caused pain, but in truth, it's a profound gift we give ourselves. When we forgive, we liberate energy locked away in anger and regret, making space for renewed faith in our own capacity to love and to heal. Begin by acknowledging that hurt is real. Betrayals, disappointments, and injustices can run deep. There's no need to minimize what you've experienced. Instead, gently separate the act from your identity. You might think, yes, this happened, but it does not have to define who I am. If feelings of bitterness come up, let them surface without judgment. This emotional honesty is crucial because you can't release what you haven't first recognized. Self-forgiveness can be especially tricky. We're often harder on ourselves than on anyone else. Maybe you regret past choices, missed opportunities, or moments you weren't kind to your own body and mind. But dwelling on these regrets keeps you tethered to a version of yourself that no longer exists. You deserve to breathe fresh air in the present. A tender affirmation to begin with might be, I forgive myself completely, and I welcome healing into my life. Notice how your spirit softens when you grant yourself that mercy. When it comes to forgiving others, it doesn't require you to condone their actions or invite them back into your life. It simply frees you from rehearsing the pain over and over. Imagine a chain that connects you to those hurtful events, locking you into old wounds. Forgiveness is like releasing the latch that keeps you imprisoned. You can still maintain healthy boundaries. You can still acknowledge that what happened was unfair or harmful. But you choose not to let it continue haunting you. As you embark on this process, mirror work can be a powerful ally. Face yourself and speak out loud. I release all hostility, choosing peace in my heart. If images or memories resurface, breathe through them gently. Cry if you need to. Emotions are part of this healing. You might also consider writing a letter, either to yourself or someone you feel wronged by, and then tearing it up or burning it as a symbolic act of letting go. Visualize the ashes drifting away, taking with them the heavy weight of lingering resentment. Forgiveness sets you on a path of lightness and possibility. Remember, your feelings of anger or regret don't vanish overnight, but each decision to forgive, each affirmation repeated, loosens that grip. Soon you'll find it easier to believe in your goodness and capability, and as you lighten your emotional load, a new strength emerges from within. Next, we'll gently guide that strength into transforming fears into faith, an essential step in cultivating a life that brims with confidence rather than apprehension. Fear can be a formidable opponent to our self-confidence. It creeps in when we're on the brink of growth, whispering, "What if you fail?" or "You're not good enough." Yet fear also has a strange gift. It points us toward what matters most. When you feel fear, it can signal that you're stepping beyond the familiar, ready to expand. The key is learning to shift that uneasy energy into an empowering force. Begin by acknowledging fear without shame. Often we think we must conquer fear outright, like defeating a dragon in a storybook. But fear is an emotion, not the enemy. It wants to protect you from pain or rejection, even though it can also limit you. A powerful first step is to breathe into it. Slow, deep breaths calm the nervous system, signaling your body that you're safe. As you inhale, affirm, I recognize my fear. As you exhale, affirm, I choose faith in this moment. This rhythmic exchange of statements can ground you and encourage a gentle internal shift. Next, clarify your vision of faith. Faith doesn't have to be religious. It can simply mean trust in the flow of life, trust in your capacity to adapt, or trust that each challenge is a chance to learn. When fear surfaces, ask yourself, do I trust I'll be okay? If the answer is shaky, remind yourself of past moments you triumphed despite uncertainty. That track record is proof you are more resilient than you often give yourself credit for. Align with that resilient aspect of you whenever doubt creeps in. You might also explore visualization. Find a quiet space, close your eyes, and imagine yourself successfully navigating a situation that triggers your fear. See the details, your posture, your calm breathing, your confident aura. Let it feel real. This mental rehearsal primes your mind to believe in a favorable outcome. The more vividly you can picture your success, the stronger your faith becomes. It's like building a muscle. You strengthen it through consistent practice. If fear is rooted in a particular experience, like a painful failure, allow yourself to rewrite the narrative. Through journaling or silent reflection, consider how you can reinterpret that event as a stepping stone rather than a dead end. Changing the internal story disrupts the cycle of fear that keeps you stuck. Pair this process with affirmations such as, I am growing from every challenge, or my resilience is stronger than any setback. By transforming fear into faith, you liberate precious energy that can be redirected into self-confidence. No longer consumed by worst-case scenarios, you can focus on the possibilities that lie ahead. This transition from fear to faith isn't a one-time fix. It's a lifelong conversation within, and that's perfectly okay. Each time fear rears up, you have an opportunity to practice self-trust anew. Embrace it as part of the ongoing dance with life, then move forward with greater peace. Now, let's anchor this shift into daily reality through the continuous practice of positive self-talk. Confidence is seldom built in a day. It grows gradually, nurtured by the little conversations you have with yourself moment to moment. If you've ever tried to break a habit, you know consistent effort eventually leads to transformation. The same logic applies to self-talk. Your mind's chatter can either erode confidence or enrich it. When you decide that every passing thought matters, you reclaim your mental space with intention. Our minds can be like sponges, soaking up phrases and beliefs from parents, peers, or social media. You might not even be aware of half the messages playing in the background. That's why awareness is step one. Gently observe your self-talk throughout the day. Note when you say things like, I'm so clumsy, or I can never do anything right. Don't judge yourself, just notice. Each time a negative thought arises, imagine holding it tenderly in your palm, then replacing it with a balanced or optimistic statement. For example, if you catch yourself thinking, I'll fail at this project, respond with, I am capable and learning more every day. Creative reminders can help. Some people set their phone wallpapers to uplifting slogans or place sticky notes around the house. You're doing great, remember your strengths, or your voice matters. Others might record a short voice note with their own affirmations and play it during breaks. These seemingly tiny acts create an environment of self-support. Over time, they weave a tapestry of positivity that encourages you to step confidently into new experiences. But positive self-talk isn't just about sugarcoating problems. It's an approach that acknowledges challenges without granting them the power to define you. Say you're dealing with a difficult health issue or financial stress. A helpful inner script might be, I am doing my best under these circumstances, and I believe in my ability to find solutions. This acknowledges reality while affirming your resilience. You're not denying the hardship. You're choosing hope over despair. Consistency in self-talk also primes you for bigger leaps. The more you affirm yourself in daily life, while cooking, driving, or working, the more natural it feels to walk into a high-pressure situation with assurance. You've rehearsed kindness towards yourself so often that negativity struggles to take root, and when it does appear, you know exactly how to address it with compassion. Let your internal voice become a faithful friend instead of a harsh critic. Embrace the slip-ups too, because changing thought patterns is a lifelong practice. No one gets it right every single time. What matters is the gentle pull back to kindness each time you stray. As we progress, let's reinforce this positivity by tapping into a wellspring of gratitude. Because when you're truly grateful for who you are and what you have, your self-confidence naturally flourishes. Let's dive next into how gratitude amplifies every step you've taken so far. Gratitude is a powerful amplifier of confidence. When you acknowledge the gifts in your life, your abilities, the simple joys around you, or the lessons learned from tough times, you align your mindset with abundance rather than lack. This shift in perspective not only lifts your spirits, but also quietly reinforces the message, life is on my side. And when you believe life is on your side, it's far easier to stand tall and move forward with self-assurance. Let's explore how gratitude can be seamlessly woven into daily routines. Some individuals swear by a quick morning gratitude list, just 3 things they appreciate before stepping out of bed. It can be as small as the softness of my blanket, or as big as the supportive friend who believes in my dreams. By consciously starting your day with what's going right, you set a positive tone. Others practice a gratitude burst at lunchtime or bedtime, taking a minute to silently list off everything that feels nourishing or uplifting in their world. This practice is especially potent if you're in the midst of challenges. You might think, how do I focus on gratitude when life is throwing hurdles at me? That's precisely when gratitude works its magic best. Recognizing even the tiniest blessings trains your mind to see possibilities where it once saw dead ends. If you're wrestling with low self-esteem, simply being grateful for your perseverance can crack open a window of hope. Gratitude says, I see you, resilience. I appreciate you, determination. Affirmations of gratitude can merge beautifully with your positive self-talk. Instead of just saying, I am strong, add a note of thanks. I am strong, and I am grateful for my ability to grow stronger each day. This slight shift infuses your self-talk with warmth and humility. It also reminds you that you're part of a greater flow, call it life, the universe, or your own evolving journey, that supports your expansion. One technique that resonates with many is writing thank you letters to yourself. You might write, Dear me, thank you for continuing to believe in our dreams despite the rough patches. Thank you for carrying hope in your heart and learning from mistakes. There's something profoundly healing about recognizing your own efforts, and that sense of self-appreciation fosters a deeper confidence that can carry you through external ups and downs. As you practice gratitude consistently, you'll likely notice a contagious effect. Other people around you may start adopting a lighter outlook because positivity is wonderfully infectious. The more you celebrate the good in your life, the more you radiate a calm assurance that says, I have enough, I am enough. This is the opposite of desperation or insecurity. It's a gentle power that draws nourishing experiences closer. We've journeyed through building self-worth, using affirmations, releasing heavy emotions, mirror work, forgiveness, transforming fear, and mastering self-talk. Gratitude ties them all together, grounding you in the present moment with a heart full of appreciation. Next, we'll bring everything together in our concluding moments, ensuring you walk away with a final affirmation that seals your commitment to confident, radiant living. Take a moment to acknowledge how far you've come. From that initial spark of curiosity about building unshakable self-belief, you've delved into the vital concept of self-worth, discovered how affirmations can recast your inner narrative, and learned to release the emotional baggage that no longer serves you. You've stood before your reflection in mirror work, bravely facing the parts of yourself you once avoided. Forgiveness, once a daunting notion, now reveals itself as an act of profound compassion, mostly for your own freedom. And transforming fear into faith has shown that you have what it takes to shift your perspective, even in moments of uncertainty. At every step, you've been gently reminded to speak lovingly to yourself. The words you choose in daily conversations, those quick mental quips or long internal debates, truly matter. In filling them with positivity, you've become an architect of your own reality. And through gratitude, you've learned that counting life's gifts is not just a feel-good exercise. It's a way to anchor your heart in abundance, seeing clearly that life offers you more blessings than you might have once recognized. What does all this add up to? It adds up to you standing a bit taller, trusting yourself a bit more, and awakening each day with a quieter mind. It sums to an unwavering glow that isn't swayed by fleeting circumstances. You've laid a sturdy foundation of self-respect, nurtured it with daily rituals, and opened space for your inner light to shine. And in doing so, you become an example, an embodiment of self-confidence that others can sense. By owning your brilliance, you show those around you that it's safe and possible to embrace their own. As we close this chapter, let's seal in the lessons with a final affirmation. Take a gentle breath. Place a hand on your heart if you wish, feeling your warmth and innate strength. Quiet your mind and say inwardly or aloud, I honor my growth, embrace my worth, and shine my light so others may find theirs too. Let that resonate within you for a moment. You are the light. You are the beacon someone else might be searching for in the darkness. When you trust in your ability to shine, you perform an act of beautiful service to the world. Keep in mind that this is an ongoing journey. You can revisit any of these practices, affirmations, emotional release, mirror work, forgiveness, or mindfulness of self-talk, whenever you need. Confidence is not a static achievement. It's a living, breathing relationship with yourself. Some days, you'll feel unstoppable. Other days, you might need a reminder that you are, in fact, worthy just as you are. That's okay. Every step forward leaves a trail of hope behind you, and every stumble is a chance to strengthen your resolve. Carry this newfound sense of inner assurance into the world with courage and warmth. Know that as you do, you shine a compassionate light that could be exactly what someone else needs to find their own way home. And in that shared brightness, our collective spirit lifts higher, one courageous heart at a time.